It's like really just start trying it, even if it's with something small. It does not even have to be work related. It maybe can really be like, just use any AI, go to it and ask, hey, I like to listen to this and that artists, that kind of music. What else is there that I maybe don't know? And you will see how things are working.
Welcome to the ALSO AI podcast. Discover the latest advancements in artificial intelligence through insightful discussions with industry experts. Each episode will bring a fresh perspective on AI and addresses the real-world challenges, opportunities, and interests you as an IT reseller might have or your customers could ask you about. Featuring experts from ALSO and leading vendors, we explore diverse insights on AI.
Welcome to the ALSO AI podcast. I'm Frank Lutzke, your host. Together, we'll go on an exciting journey into the future. Each season, we dive deep into different aspects of AI, showing you real-world applications and their impact. Every episode offers new insights and tackles the challenges and questions you and your customers face. As a leading technology provider, ALSO is dedicated to exploring the latest trends and innovations driving the future of technology. In this first season, AI Insights with Microsoft, we meet with experts from Microsoft and ALSO. And in today's episode, we explore Microsoft 365 Copilot for non-profit organizations. Warm welcome to today's guests, Kevin León, Cloud Solution Architect at Microsoft, and Angela Barbieri, Solution Lead Public Sector at ALSO. Angela, nice to have you here. Where are you from?
I'm based in Switzerland, in Lucerne.
Switzerland. Oh, so this is going to be a Europe call. Perfect. Kevin León from Microsoft. Where are you from now?
I'm from Ecuador, but I've been living in Leipzig for the last 5 years.
Okay, perfect. So, Switzerland, Ecuador. This is a really true word podcast. Kevin is from Microsoft. Angela is from ALSO. And we are talking today about non-profit organizations and artificial intelligence and how these topics get together, work together, why they should work together. But I have one quick question at the start. Because I'm curious. To you both, what and how was your first really AI wow moment? What occasion was it? When did it happen?
Angela, if that's fine for you, I will start. To be honest, I think I'm having this wow moment every day. So it's basically, I can't say, hey, I had that one wow moment 1 year ago, because probably there has been a bigger wow moment in the last past months. But one thing that I really like to highlight when I think about these wow moments is first, many of my friends, especially female friends, are telling me like, I'm using Copilot, asking all these silly questions where usually I would not trust myself or even try to ask this to a man because they are going to think I am not bright enough. But now I can prepare anything, ask all these, maybe silly questions and then feel confident. That has been for me one of the favorite use cases. And secondly, it's also seeing my mom for the first time being interested in technology. I'm 24 years old. So 24 years old, at 24 years, I've been fighting with my mom to get interested in technology. I never managed to do so. Right now, when she's, she likes a painting, takes a picture, asks Copilot, who did this? And now she's like, hey, look what I did. So I think perhaps those are not those wow moments. Technology is amazing, but I think those are the moments that are currently staying with me or are always in my head when I think about generative AI.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's very similar to Kevin. Like, there's every day something new to discover. But I remember, and it's really long ago when we started that also with using AI for ourselves. And my manager back then was turning on Copilot when we had a meeting. And afterwards, we have seen the summary first time, like, Angela said this and that during the meeting, and the other person said this and that, etc. So we were all, wow, that's working pretty good and it's so helpful. So that was kind of, at work at least, my first time using AI, and I was mind blown that it's so easy and really accurate to use.
Wonderful. And I really can can feel both of your stories, and I've seen them both in my hood, so to say. Now we are talking about nonprofit organizations. I know that nonprofit organizations are organized a little bit different than normal commercial organizations. Where are the opportunities for nonprofits to use AI? I don't know who wants to begin. I think both of you have something to say. Kevin, I see you smiling already. I think you're burning to answer that.
Yes, of course. I mean, I always think this is very interesting. So this type of questions, in the sense that, yes, nonprofit organizations are indeed different. I think, of course, their mission is quite different. The name already says it. I mean, a commercial organization has a mission, which is usually the profit maximization, whereas with a nonprofit organization, that's exactly not the objective. It's rather, covering costs, having a budget to follow a specific social mission. And then the question I have is there really a difference between how they can leverage artificial intelligence compared to a commercial organization? Not necessarily. I mean, there is an opportunity just as big, if not bigger, for nonprofit organizations to leverage generative AI compared to commercial organizations. But if I was to go just one short answer or one short point, is basically optimizing process and saving time. I think this is the part where perhaps there is a difference. Yes, it's usually nonprofit organizations are not used to using so much technology as a commercial organization. So now, instead of wasting time trying to figure that out, now they have a tool where they can directly ask something or directly delegate a task and find a solution for a specific situation, saving that time that in a commercial organization might be invested in finding new projects and doing something new. A nonprofit organization can now reinvest that time to do more social good. So again, the cases might be very similar, but then the outcome is rather a bit different, since nonprofit organizations have these social missions.
Yeah, I would like to add to that, because that's really sum up everything already pretty good. But what I see as well is, when you see a commercial customer, it's like really the eager that they want to start something, to optimize, etc., because they are, as the word already says, money driven, much more as non-profit organizations, and they are more hesitant to adapt to those things, since I guess they have a little bit this fear that the social aspect of their work will get lost in AI. But it's exactly what Kevin said, that it's to help them with tasks that they don't have to do, because that technology can do for them. And they can focus even more on the social aspects of their work, because especially in the nonprofit fields, where the topics a lot of time can be very heavy, it's so important to have a real person in front of you helping you. But to have the time to do so, give away all these not necessary tasks that are not social to an AI when it's possible. And I guess that's a little bit the thing, the storytelling with the nonprofits, to make them understand it's not to replace the persons, it's just to give them even more time, especially in the time when a lot of companies really lacking in resources.
And just to add to that, just also, like, again, this also comes, or it's quite often the case in commercial organizations. Just think those moments where you are blocked, where you cannot solve a situation, where you don't know how to process some data, where, stuff that for some people might be basic, for others are more difficult. And perhaps in the nonprofit sector, it might be, or it might be often the case that they don't know how to solve a specific tech-related process right away. Now you have an assistant where it's like, instead of being blocked for 2 to 3 days to 4 days waiting for someone to help you with that, or trying to figure it out on yourself, on your own, you can just go check, explain, of course, with a very good, nice prompt, how you are, what you're seeing, what are you facing, and find a solution within 5 minutes. Reinvest the time, go and support other people, or go and follow your social mission. So I think that's really an amazing opportunity where you're getting rid of these blockers where you were wasting time in the past, where you were not able to solve them. Of course, you're not able to solve every single issue and situation with a chat, but at least you can get started. And in my personal cases, most of the time I'm able to troubleshoot or at least understand what's the root cause, so that in the end, someone can help me in less than the usual 3 days.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I know that one of the main products for Microsoft is Copilot, the solution that's integrated in a lot of applications, and the possibilities are, I don't know, quite vast, and you can do a lot of things. But there are also other solutions, like, I don't know, the free ChatGPT version. The Copilot is free in one case also, but most or a lot of people are coming from a solution like ChatGPT, because that's perhaps the first thing they tried. Why should I use a solution like Copilot instead of ChatGPT or something?
I like to see people trying ChatGPT. It's great. You do your use case. You're like, hey, I realize this is actually something great. But then when we're thinking about especially nonprofit organizations and handling some confidential data or some data that you don't want it to be out there, then it's better if you are using a solution like Microsoft Copilot, even thinking about the free version, which is already integrated in Edge, since it already has enterprise-grade data protection, which means your data is your data. That's not going to any model. No model is trained based on your data. So you are confident that what you're doing with that chat it's safe. I'm not saying that ChatGPT is not safe, but of course you have this option to turn on memory, turn off memory. So I say, hey, if you're going to deal with this type of data, first, you already have it in Edge with your Microsoft 365 subscription, also as a nonprofit organization for free, including this enterprise-grade data protection. But then we come to the second level, here's where I see a lot of value, and that's the grounding. Having this capability of just including your documents. And I'm going to give an example right now. So in this case, it was not confidential data, but for preparing for this podcast, what I did was like, hey, here are some documents where I know there are some relevant points because I have already read them. Can you please summarize them so that the audience finds it relevant? I didn't have to upload anything else. It was already part of, let's say, this grounding capability, so that the model was able to go through it, read it very quickly, extremely quick, and give me those key bullet points. So first, as I said, is data security. And the second part is having this extension where the model, where the artificial intelligence is able to go through your information within your organization, of course, in a compliant way, in a safe way, which many of these other fee tools do not offer. And if they offer it, you are not sure what's happening in the back end. So that's my suggestion, especially for nonprofits where they have so much confidential data, so much data that needs this extra layer of protection. That's where I say, hey, just try this, for free, enterprise-grade data protection also on the Edge browser. And if you want more, then you go for your Microsoft 365 Copilot subscription.
Yeah, I see it the same as you do, Kevin, with that. What I really love with Copilot is that when it's set up correctly in your environment and securely and everything, when you get a task from your manager and you're not sure if maybe a colleague already did some work for it, etc. So Copilot helps me to find in the whole ecosystem, and we all know ALSO is really big and we have a lot of employees, so the chance is really high someone already did something similar. You can go to Copilot, to your account, and ask, hey, are there already some sheets, presentations about this and that topic? And it really is able to deliver me those information in like some seconds. And I can see, hey, there is already really something there. that is a solid base for my work. So I don't have to do it all the time from scratch and find out after some hours of work, oh, my colleague already started something like that. So that's what I really appreciate when you have this ecosystem built with AI in a company.
And perhaps something that we're actually missing, which to be honest, I also miss a lot of times, is when you get Copilot in your Microsoft 365 subscription, then you have it basically everywhere. So you have it in Outlook, you have it in Teams. So, I mean, it's really right now, it's helping me a lot with a lot of emails, especially when some colleagues are out of office. Then I can first check what's the situation. And then secondly, like just draft a very nice email also, usually quite good with my style, with my own tone and voice in a few seconds. It's making me just very, very efficient. And again, this is where I see a lot of value for nonprofit organizations. I mean, I also imagine how many emails do they have to handle every single day when they have requests from end beneficiaries. And then you're able to support more people while still keeping your own tone and style. So I think that's also very important. You have it in Word, you have it in Excel, in PowerPoint, in Outlook. Yeah, it's great.
It's almost everywhere. It's almost everywhere. I've even seen it in OneDrive a few weeks ago, and I was okay. What's doing it there? And to think about it, to find the right picture, just to describe it, I'm searching for. I don't know how this is perfect. This is really, really good. I think that some nonprofit organizations have I don't know if it's just a feeling or is it a real problem? Something that costs money, sometimes a deal breaker for a nonprofit organization because their financial structure is sometimes a little bit more stressed. Do you think that's a real problem, or is it just, okay, we don't have money, we can't do that?
Yes and no. I guess on the first hand, yes, it is a problem because, yes, it costs something. And usually they really kind of, now we don't need that. It's too expensive. But then when you start telling the story behind and how much money they actually can save with it, and you compare, then it starts to be not a problem. But it's really about the storytelling itself. When you just go with kind of, hey, that's the costs, I say no one would do it. But you really need to project something together. It's not just to sell something. It's really building a story, building value with them together and see where actually would help this solution in your company. And then they start to realize that maybe the initial costs can be high. It depends on how big and the structure, etc. But in the end, it will come back with the saving in resources, especially for your employees, etc. So it's a yes and no.
But I mean, I just ask you both. Isn't it the same in the commercial sector? If you go and you pitch a project for a commercial organization and then they just don't have the budget, perhaps they have more flexible budgets, or in general, they do have some budget. But if you pitch something that it's going to be too expensive, is it in the commercial sector always a deal breaker? Or then do you also have an opportunity to try to explain which value are you adding? This is really a question that I always pose because I come from Ecuador, which is a country that does not necessarily have a lot of money. But still, I see many things that I also see in Europe. So my thinking process is, supposedly we should not be able to afford this, or it's too expensive for us. Yet someone was convincing enough to show what's the value behind it, and even such country was able to afford some specific solutions. Thinking about software, or also, I don't know, cars. So again, my question to you, isn't it the same in the commercial sector?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you say it this way, yeah. I think the story is what's selling the product, not the product itself or the technical parts of it. It's really the story, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we also have to be, as you said, Frank, we also have to be aware that perhaps in the nonprofit sector, the budgets are not as flexible as in the commercial sector. Maybe that's one difference. But in the end, of course, also depending on the size of the organization, there are budgets. The thing is, how you, as let's say a Microsoft partner and also reseller, can explain that you can explain the value that a specific solution, in this case we're talking about Copilot, can offer to a nonprofit organization in terms of how will they get closer to their social mission with this solution. So again, it's basically the same that you are telling to a normal customer, where it's like, hey, you'll get this solution. This is going to help you with this and that and that. Of course, they have this target of profit maximization, whereas with a nonprofit organization is, how is Copilot getting you closer to your social mission, or how are you delivering more value to your end beneficiaries? And as we just mentioned some moments ago, you have more time for your one-to-one interactions. You have more time to talk to those people you want to help, because you are offsetting that repetitive, boring tasks to artificial intelligence that can do it for you and give you more time to do what really matters and where you can properly add more value to the society or to your end beneficiaries. So I always tell partners when I'm talking with them, it's try to see it from their perspective and help them understand why they should reinvest their budget in something like this. And I really mean this. I truly believe that this is something that really helps them get closer to those objectives.
Yeah, perfect. I've written down some pain points. I don't want to be the bad guy here. I just want to address some. Perhaps I only think that these are pain points. We checked the budget concerns, and I'm absolutely on your side, of you both. Really means the story behind it. But I think some nonprofit organizations are a combo of loose people who are working for a good thing, and sometimes the technical level isn't quite up. Are these nonprofit organizations are also capable of doing AI, or should there be some training in front?
I guess that's a fair point to highlight. What I face is that a lot of time the technical depths are high in the nonprofit organizations. But the good thing is, hey, we have so much partners out here that are happy to help, that can support with each question you have. And I really mean each question. And they are here to help. It's not that the nonprofit organization needs to be the pros in the end when it comes to all the techniques. They have helping hands. Is it from our side? Is it from our partner side? We can help. We help them as well with trainings, with adopting, etc. But let those technical sides be done by the experts. You don't have to adopt all of that, and focus on the value that it brings to you in the end. And for that, if you are unsure, if you need more training, there's so much out from our side, from Microsoft side, that will make you a pro in using it daily in no time.
Yes, that's actually a very, very good point. And again, to be honest, I can hardly imagine that many people are willingly wishing to handle and manage the admin center every single day if you are working at a nonprofit. And that's where I'm like, well, yes, but we have this network of partners. I mean, worldwide, we have, I think, already over 13,000 Microsoft partners already supporting nonprofit organizations, leveraging the Microsoft pricing or discounted prices for nonprofit organizations to implement it with end customers. And then also from the Microsoft side, we realized, yes, there is still a gap. And we as Microsoft are trying to support also both nonprofit organizations with, let's say right now we have Copilot adoption trainings in several languages: French, English, Spanish, German. They're taking place every single month. I think in some countries even like twice per month. And nonprofits can enroll for free, go to a session. I think it's almost over 2 hours long, and learn from an expert how to use Copilot or how to prompt and these type of things. But then also in general, Microsoft has launched several initiatives. We even have one team at Microsoft that focuses only on capacity building for nonprofit organizations. And we offer several free trainings, not only on AI, but also on, let's say, basic from cybersecurity for nonprofit organizations. So that side, nonprofits should also be covered, and partners get some sort of support from the Microsoft side to empower those organizations.
Yeah, I would like to add something small to that. I guess what we should not forget is kind of this whole nonprofit thing we are doing from Microsoft side, from ALSO side together. It's not just selling products. It's kind of really building a solution world for our nonprofits together. I said also Microsoft, but also with our channel partners and then with the nonprofit. So it's really an ecosystem. I guess that's really important to highlight.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. When all these things work together, no pain points are there anymore. Do you have some use cases or some, I don't know, some examples where everything went well? I don't know. Where is the productivity boost? Where are the expectations from the beginning, and what was it in the end?
Yeah, there's one very interesting story from the US. There is this nonprofit organization called Agape, if I remember correctly, and they started. I mean, I think they are just a few employees full time, and they work with, I think, 40 volunteers or so. And I'm just going to try to summarize it. So the thing is that the nonprofit organization, of course, they are supporting end beneficiaries, usually immigrants that need some support for relocating in the US. And at some point, they lost many of these volunteers. So they started using Copilot Chat, which is the free version on Edge. And basically what they said was that their productivity level got to the same level as before in terms of having less volunteers, but still being able to serve the same amount of end beneficiaries. And this was achieved just by giving this free version of Copilot to their current volunteers and also full-time employees. I think that's a great example. Again, it's super small, but this is an example that shows like, okay, we have less staff because they weren't able to get enough volunteers after, I think it was after COVID. But then they were like, okay, let's try something with generative AI. And nobody got replaced. I mean, people just left and they were still able to serve the same amount of end beneficiaries with less people. And of course, the organization is super happy. They are serving the same amount of people. They would love to serve more. And I think they were also planning to roll out a Copilot for Microsoft 365. But I think that that's a great example. And just also connecting a bit to one of the previous questions about also budget and also skills, we also always forget to mention there is this opportunity for a nonprofit organization to start for free within a Microsoft 365 subscription with Copilot on Edge. So I also tell partners, hey, perhaps they are not there yet, but you can also explain to them a bit of prompting so that they can start using these free tools and free resources. And they will come to you when they will by themselves realize, oh, there's a lot of value there. So I think that's a good example. Of course, we have other more complex examples in the region for the nonprofit sector, but I just wanted to highlight that one where it's like just even with a small group of people, you can have a huge impact if you support them with this type of tools. I don't know, Angela, I think you also always bring up an example, maybe you can mention it, where you think that artificial intelligence or technology can also help the case of your dad, right? Maybe that's an example where things are not working perfectly, but that might be potential for improvement.
Yes, that's true. My dad lives in an elderly home with amazing nurses. Sometimes when I visit, I experience that they are doing tasks. I have to smirk a little bit because it's basically like they write down stuff on Post-its for each resident that they need, kind of supplies or something. And afterwards, they write to the families, like email by email, which takes them around 2 or 3 hours. So I would say we could simplify that with technology, kind of tablet implementations. and really reduce that work and give them more time for the more important work with the people itself.
For a normal working day of 8 hours, that would be a huge amount of time you have. And I think this is one really big point in non-profit organizations. The time you save, you can use for better things or more human things, so to say. You already addressed a lot of stuff Microsoft and ALSO does for helping resellers or non-profit organizations to get on track, to build their vision better. Are there some other points you would like to address, or like an invitation for a partner or nonprofit, what they should do to get on the train?
Try it. I mean, that's why I said to everybody in terms of AI, just try it. If you're a nonprofit organization, try it. Always compliant, of course, and in a safe way. Try it. It's really something that allows you to focus on what matters the most. There are opportunities, as I said, to try it for free already with enterprise-grade data protection if you're using Copilot. Then also to the partners, what I always say is, here's a huge opportunity. First, just thinking about their offers, they have an opportunity to really expand and go into a new sector where many IT providers think like, hey, we should offer something for free. That's it. Like, that's how we support the nonprofit sector. And I always challenge and tell partners, it's not about that. It's not about just giving something for free, but it's rather about taking this sector seriously. And that's partially what we at Microsoft do with this entire unit, Tech for Social Impact, taking this nonprofit sector as a serious sector that also needs to be served with technology. So I always say to partner, first, you have an opportunity. Just thinking from the business perspective, you have an opportunity. Secondly, this is a sector that really needs the support from professional IT services that support them and also help them go and get closer towards that social goal. And thirdly, you're not alone. I mean, ALSO is there to support you. Microsoft is there to support you. There's a lot of resources also for free for nonprofit organizations that partners can bring from their first engagement. Let's say there are free security assessments, just as an example. And again, I think partners are ready to succeed in the nonprofit sector. We just need more partners active. Already over 13,000 think this is something great, but I would like to see more. Ideally, 100% of all our Microsoft partners would be doing this. But hey, we can start slowly. It's all right, but there's an opportunity. And it's really a sector where stuff can be super interesting. Also, the use cases and the success stories that you can do are very, very interesting.
I think that's a perfect thing you said there. Angela, do you have something to add?
I would say it is what Kevin said. Again, it's like really just start trying it, even if it's with something small. It does not even have to be work related. It maybe can really be like, just use any AI, go to it and ask, hey, I like to listen to this and that artists, that kind of music. What else is there that I maybe don't know? And you will see how things are working. It does not always have to be so serious that you start with like, oh, I need prompts for this and that, or help me in Excel with this and that. Start easily with something that just brings you joy, that you're interested in gathering information, and you will get the feeling how it's working. And then you can adopt to think, how can I use it at work, etc. But I guess it's really for everyone with every interest. Just start with it. Don't hesitate. Just try it.
Oh, this is good. Just start. Just do it. To sum up this podcast, we are running out of time a little bit. Everybody should say one big point that's important from this podcast, of whatever. What is important to you when you're speaking about AI and nonprofits? You can say 2 words or 3 words.
I would say security. So keep in mind data protection, keep in mind the security of your environment. That's always what I highlight.
The nonprofit is safe. Good.
From my side, I think empowerment. I just see it like that. I think AI is empowering nonprofit organizations. It's basically empowering everyone. As I said, I've seen also in my personal life so many use cases of people feeling just empowered. They are now allowed, so to say, to ask the questions, and I think this is something great for nonprofits, where they are empowered to solve issues themselves, be more efficient, support end beneficiaries better. So yeah, of course, data protection is super important, but I think my main focus is the empowerment that we're getting from these solutions.
Yeah, you have the exciting word. I have the lame one, but both are important. So
No. I think they are both really important things. Empowered and be safe. I think that's the real good ending word. A big thanks to our guests, Angela Barbieri from ALSO and Kevin León from Microsoft, for the interesting topics and insights you shared with us. It was a pleasure discussing Microsoft 365 Copilot for nonprofit organizations. I had a great time. I hope today's insights have been both thought-provoking and practical for your future endeavors. Whether you're an IT reseller or just curious, I hope this episode has inspired new ideas and perspectives. Feel free to share your thoughts and ask us questions. All links, products details, and further resources can be found in the show notes and on the website. Thank you for tuning in to ALSO AI Podcast and the season AI Insights with Microsoft. My name is Frank Lutzke, your host. Stay curious, stay informed, and join us next time.
ALSO AI Podcast. Hat diese Folge Sie zu neuen Ideen und Perspektiven inspiriert? Egal, ob Sie ein IT-Fachhändler oder einfach nur neugierig sind, der Austausch geht weiter. Teilen Sie Ihre Gedanken und stellen Sie Ihre Fragen. Für mehr Quellen, Links und Produktdetails, die wir in dieser Folge genannt haben, werfen Sie einen Blick in die Shownotes und besuchen Sie unsere Internetseite.